Hi folks, this is Tim Fasano, and I'm taking a little different course tonight. I'm doing something that I call the Bigfoot show. For lack of a better name, I'll come up with something different. What I'm wanting to do is analyze videos that have been presented for review among the community, so to speak, and give my analysis of it. This is not an attempt to insult or offend anyone. I don't use pejorative terms. I don't get into ad hominems or call people names. It's just I want to analyze the video and just stay on the video, which I think is a good tactic that many people should use. There was a video that was presented a few years ago. It was called the Lettuce Lake Skunk Ape. And in this video, it showed what appeared to be an upright primate rummaging through the swamp waters of Florida. Not everyone's familiar with the swamp waters of Florida, so they don't know just how treacherous these waters can be. And they're full of alligators and poisonous snakes. Virtually every variety of poisonous snake in North America is represented in Florida. So that alone should be enough to scare people off. Well, anyway, the video was presented during the week that the BFRO was filming their program Finding Bigfoot down in Myakka State Park, which is 2 counties south of here. And the Florida BFRO, instead of doing an analysis of the video, dug into the backgrounds of the individuals that were involved. And I've always believed that the background of an individual is not relevant. It's not relevant at all, regardless of what someone may or may not have done. And they were young kids, so they hadn't done anything. But it doesn't preclude you from getting the money shot. So if you could stick to the video and discredit it, then you don't need to go any further than that. And if you can't discredit it, then you have to at least start looking at features, artifacts, and anomalies in the video to make a determination as to whether it's real or not. What I want to show you tonight, the reason I call it the face of Bigfoot, is because I think there's a lot going on here, and a lot more than what people have seen. What we see initially in the Lettuce Lake video is seems to be a primate scooping up water, and then he drops something into the water, which you'll see coming up right here. There he drops it, and then it walks off, and then he drops it. As you can see, I'm repeating this. He drops it, clearly is dropping something that runs off that has a tail. I personally believe that it's a juvenile or an infant or a youngster, and that this is a mother dropping it. Now, people are going to say, well, primates don't have tails. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. A lot of primates that have tails. And we've never caught a skunk ape, so we don't know if they have tails. Or maybe only the infants or the neonates or the juveniles have tails, and then maybe they lose them as they get older. We don't know anything here. We just know that in this video, as I look at it, you see it drops something to the ground. A detail that a hoaxer would not include, mind you. None the fact that he's standing out in knee-deep water, well, shin-deep water at least, and these are riverine forests. So even if this is on the cusp of a shoreline, that swamp will go back a couple hundred yards, at least, especially after all the rain we had been getting back then. But then rain is common in Florida, so I don't really need to include that. Certain times of year we have more rain, we have more swamp, it recedes and it comes and goes. This seems to be a wet time of the year. And now what you'll notice in the upcoming frames it comes from behind the tree. There it goes. Its head pokes up behind the tree. Its head pokes up behind the tree, and there is a face. Eyes, nose, mouth. There it is. That I'm calling the face of Bigfoot. Now, if you want to put it all together, you could take a look at the film Stabilized and go by what I just told you. Look for the features that I just described. Putting something down, running off. You see the tail flapping as it swings around and it's splashing. There's two creatures that are splashing water. They may have to look a couple times, but eventually when you spot the little one running on all fours, not upright, but on all fours, once you spot it, you'll see it every time you look at it. Here we go. Let me back up here. Stop. My cat's trying to hit my light. Come here. You want to say something to the people? You want to say something to the people? Hey. That's Angel. Say, hey, Angel. The lake is not a lake. It's the widest expanse of the Hillsborough River in Florida. And on the south rim of that, south shoreline of that, is where the canoe launch is. Once you cross the lake, it seems huge when you're in a canoe, you get into the Hillsborough River and you can go hours into it. In fact, you can end up almost in Orlando if you know how to follow the rivers correctly. You'll get into the watersheds. Now, Tom and I went about an hour one way and came an hour back. You can go further than that. It was somewhere in there where this skunk ape was. Tip Fasano here. We are on Lettuce Lake. This is Tom. Say hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
He's a guy I've known 20 years. He is a non-believer in any kind of a cryptid or unidentified animal like a giant primate roaming around in the Hillsborough River where we're at right now. We launched from Lettuce Lake. We're about 30 minutes down. We're now in the winding part of the Hillsborough River. This is an area where probably the video had been taken. But what we're encountering, Tom, you seen any clear shoreline or just marsh?
All I see is mangroves.
And then water going way back in there. So I don't see any solid land. If they came out here with a monkey suit, how would someone put on a monkey suit out here, Tom?
Unless there is something that we haven't seen.
You're not going to. Now, Tom and I went about an hour one way and came an hour back. You can go further than that. It was somewhere in there where this skunk ape was seen. We're in an area that this is the right type of orientation. I haven't found the knotted tree, but everything about it with the mangroves and the swamp, it's somewhere in here. Very definitely, may even be right in there. Whoa! Where, see, that's why the camera went like that. I was trying to hold it steady, but canoes are uneven, and we're coasting. So you kind of do like he was doing. I believe it was right in here, Tom. And that's this shallow swamp back in there. Driftwood. We're scraping. That could be the tree right there. But you got to understand, folks, it's like there's miles of this. So to find the exact spot, that would be a neat trick. But there's no doubt this is the terrain. There's just absolutely no doubt. It's the right spot. We're far enough away from the interstate that you're not picking up any traffic noise, and it was just the plane. Oh. Okay. So there was a misconception about this where people were going, oh, Lettuce Lake, that's just a park where there's swing sets. Yeah, there is. Back where the parking lot is. There's picnic areas, swing sets, all that stuff. Sure, it's not unusual. Then you go launch your canoe, and an hour later you're out in primitive wilderness. So just because it was, just because it was a swing set doesn't mean anything. But you have to look at the video, and that's all I focus on. I mean, you could leave comments, and you can say, well, they were known. No, they weren't hoaxers. I could explain that in another video if I have to, because I know the guys. I'm the only person that I know of that actually knocked on Matt's door, but he told me to go away because of the way that he'd been treated by the Bigfoot community. He presented real evidence, but they were trying to protect their power base. They couldn't let anything undermine or undercut the Finding Bigfoot TV show. So they had to destroy the messengers. That's not the way this should be. People would be reluctant to come forward with anything. Angel, you're tearing it up, man. I'll say more about what Tom and I. Yeah, Tom and I went into an area where you could see what appeared to be the cusp of a shoreline and then the water going deeper in. And I asked Tom how would you put on a monkey suit out here? How would you get out here? Would you go find where the dry area was, if you could even find how to get there, and then put on a monkey suit and walk through snake-infested riverine to get out to an area and hope that your buddies can take a canoe and actually find your ass? Or would you be in the canoe and then try to put it on in the canoe, or jump into the water and take a soaking wet suit and try to step into it? That doesn't seem likely either. Why, the alligators are chomping at you? No, I don't think so. What do you think, Angel? Yeah, that's pretty much what a lot of people think. But anyway, Tom was a skeptic, but he was convinced that this could not have been a hoax. They filmed something, but we don't know what. At least that's as far as he was willing to go, and that's how a lot of people viewed this. So I think this video deserves another look. The problem is it's just as far as we can go with it, because the people that shot it, and I may try to recontact them. It's been years now. I may try to recontact the people that we believe shot it. They were never even able to actually prove that conclusively. So I could do more investigation. Take a look at this. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Hey.